In this video, we're going to determine whether the following series diverges or converges. So here we have the sum from n equals 2 to infinity of n over n squared minus 1. So first, we can notice that this n over n squared minus 1 kind of behaves like n over n squared, right? Because in the denominator we're subtracting 1, so that's not really doing much as n gets very large. So as n gets large, this n over n squared kind of looks like an n over n squared minus 1 looks like an n over n squared, which simplifies to just 1 over n, and we know what happens here. In this case, this series diverges by p-series test. And so now I have one series of n over n squared minus 1, and I have another series that it behaves like, which is the series for 1 over n. Now, we want to use the direct comparison test. And so what the direct comparison test tells us is that if I have a sequence, let's say Bn, that's greater than or equal to sequence An, and these are all greater than 0, then if the sum of these Bn's converges, then the sum of the An converges, and if the sum of the An diverges, then the sum of the Bn diverges. And now you have to be careful because these statements aren't necessarily true the other way around. For example, if the sum of the An converges, we're not sure if the sum of the Bn converge as well. So now we have some Bn and An. We have n over n squared minus 1 and 1 over n, but we don't know which is greater than the other yet. So first, I'll compare n over n squared minus 1 to n over n squared. Now, if it's really hard for you to understand conceptually what I'm about to say, then maybe you can plug in a number. But first, we see that we have n over n squared minus 1. That means the denominator is going to be smaller than the denominator in n over n squared. So if the denominator is smaller, then the fraction n over n squared minus 1 is going to be bigger than n over n squared. So we have that the series we're looking at is Bn. Now, if that's kind of hard for you to imagine, one thing you can do is just plug in some n. So let's say I choose n equals 5. Then I have 5 over n squared minus 1, so 5 squared minus 1. 25 minus 1 is 24, and I'm comparing this to n over n squared. So I'm comparing this to 5 over 5 squared, which is 25, and so we see 5 over 24ths is going to be greater than 5 over 25. So that's one little mental test you can do to check. Now, we have that this is Bn, and this is An. And what do we know? Well, we know that the sum of the An diverges, which means that the sum of the Bn diverges. Therefore, we have that this sum diverges by the direct comparison test. If this video was helpful, please like and subscribe, and if there are problems you'd like to see solved, feel free to email them to ashmath1729@gmail.com.